is like a finger pointing away to the moon.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, and I feel like sit down and try to do some coding tonight. I'm also testing out X264 for streaming here. 2.2% CPU right now. We'll see what it is as I switch over, but let me get my own eyes on fries here first. Okay, let's see. Goes. Excellent. So far, so good. Like everything is working. I didn't get any encoding overload. CPU jumped to like 2.5%, and that was about the highest it's gone there. It's kind of going up and down a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Very good. I think I have all the. I went and looked at like what the, like some of the settings should be, like recommended. So I'm kind of going with like the initial recommended X264 settings here. Now, unfortunately, we're not really going to put it to the test tonight or for most of tomorrow, because I'm going to be mostly static images and things. But I'm hoping to maybe tweak it a little bit here and there. And because right now it's at the super fast setting, and I suspect I could go drop it down a few notches and maybe get a little bit more quality out of it. So see, and still have enough juice left over for everything else going on. Yeah. Alright. We'll worry about that later. Going to complain to me now. I did renew it. See if it complains or not. My little thing here. I just renewed it. I haven't really email so much. Once. Already here. Here it is. Alright. And give me 1 second here. Way. I'm gonna hide screen while I do this. Alright. Activate. Oh, it already popped. And okay. Okay, cool. That just popped it in there anyway for me. All right, without me having to leave it in. Cool. So let's see what we got here now. Let's get clips open. Now I do know, I believe the Pendabot has been very busy and is yelling about some security things too. Also, I gotta figure out the build. I forgot to fix the build. because we added that additional environment variable, and I feeling I've put environment variables somewhere in the build. I just don't know where. I'll have to track that down, but I'm not going to track that down while we're on camera. I just got to remember to do that between now and tomorrow afternoon. All right. So, and when we last off, we had just about we'd gotten to the point where I was starting to parse chat now for emotes and things. Now we just gotta finish that parsing, get like the correct emote in there and all that stuff, and get all that metadata and shove it down the pipeline to the JavaScript, which then hopefully won't have to do anything except look at the JSON and go, yes, this is what I gotta do. Hopefully. See? But right now, let's look for request here. Right, so this was a security thing, plus gray. Driver, emergency pull request resolved. And about, yeah. Alert. Vulnerable to SQL injection via line comment generation. You're kidding. SQL injection after all this time is that after? Injection is possible when using the non-default connection property in combination with application code as vulnerable SQL that negates a parameter event. Also, the application has to be vulnerable too. So, okay. There's no vulnerability in the driver when using the default query mode. Users that do not override the query mode are not. Okay, so it's only if you're doing query mode. I don't even know what that query mode is. Oh, when you're doing switch to here, a placeholder for a numeric value must be immediately preceded by a minus. Must be a second placeholder for a string value after the first placeholder on the line. Both parameters must be user controlled. With inline negative value of the first parameter because the resulting line be treated as a comment. Interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. That's definitely an edge case, but you know we should do it anyway, even though we don't use that that mode. So that's the only change in the changelog. Huh. That changelog didn't seem to just talk about a password util, so I don't know. Anyway, we will do this. Do that. And okay. Spring framework goes to 6.1.4. Anything's gonna break me with the spring framework. Bean property row mapper, customized map name. The bean property row mapper subclass customized map. Really? That. See the use case described in the Add property that allows for dynamic addition of mapped properties to the existing map of property. The method takes in the name of the property and its descriptor and only adds the property if it has the right method. It allows for greater flexibility in mapping properties and enables subclasses to add properties dynamically as needed, setting the functionality. Column which uses for a column which used for pick or field for different. Properties of object. One use case allows special annotations. Use special column names to use a particular field and database field. And three properties with there. Jumping around everywhere here. Need property row mapper. Additionally maps lowercase and underscore based names for covered property. While it allows for customizing those specific names, it does not allow for totally custom map names. Oh wait, so why does this cyclically? Oh. Like I don't understand how this is going around in a circle here. Like Jesus. As feedback provided. Yes. I don't know. And it'll take them probably 10 years to actually update their documentation to give an example of what the hell they're talking about here. But it seems to me like it'd be something that would work for me because I have database column names. Like I have to go through and kind of mishmash them up a little bit to get them to look like property names for the Bean property mappers. And if they can make that more flexible, then that would really be awesome. Of course, for all I know, I'm doing extra work there and it's flexible enough for what I need, and I realized. I feel like I tested it and it wasn't working. But in either case, that seems interesting. If they can make that a little bit more robust, I'm all for it. AOP performance attributes, mapping, log warning of multiple post mapping, get mapping, etc. I guess on the same method, probably. Or same endpoint, maybe. Mock MVC client HTTP request factor follow servlet response error. Or is that new? Oh, it now swallows it, I guess? Okay. I guess that's a new feature. I would call that a bug if it swallows any kind of method, you know. Not spreading server snap events without using data. All VM, native image. Alright, it looks tame enough. So let's see what actually happens. Maven plugin. What do we got here? Use default exclusion, default configuration, handle exclusion of hidden files. Private ops, multi-architectural push. Support for cache flow and cache 2, build X plugins. Okay. Docker Compose 2.1 depends on conditions and applying with Docker may even plug in waiting. Alright. That's marching on. Good to see. Go. Stuff. Liquid based and plugin. What do we get now? Oh, that jumps pretty high. Jumps to a new minor release. Or, sorry, a major release. Notable changes for pro users. If changelog command has been updated only to create changelog when change are adds a new generate changelog option that run on change for each change set, which can slowly create, view, and create procedure changes backward compatibility. That place that exists true for create, view, and create procedure backward compatibility. Okay. ABC driver update. Adds create table if not exists for following database. To hypertonic SQL, Informatics Express, Maria, cool. Looks to generate default column value in PostgreSQL and Oracle Star Club data. Okay. Interesting that but I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing the. That's what I'm doing the SQL directly. But I've kind of had this stuff already. But this must be for like if you're doing the XML JSON configuration for that stuff that's now available. Which is good. Very good. Commons Codec. The minor release. What do they do here? It's bugged. Yeah, I mean, it's Apache. They very closely follow major minor patch rules. So when it goes up a patch release, that's literally bug fixes usually. Alright, and then bring security OAuth authorization server goes from 113 to 1. How is this going to start ID directed at the authorization server? Updates new features. Let's see here. Implementation. Dependency upgrade. And reusable default authentication failure. I feel like there's a lot more there. Now, first problem. One. to... Oh, I see. It's just going down the list all the way back to 113. Okay. Although I don't have that many... Okay. Multi-tendencies and task short learning. Alright, fair enough. Reese's. Okay. It looks on the surface to see what happens. Things just suddenly break. So I'm not really going to know if the all stuff suddenly break right now. I'm not. That's the next thing. At some point, we're going to have a test blitz. Go through it. Right tests until my fingers fall off. Anything here? Yeah. Spring framework. Yep. Fine. Those. And Docker Maven. Docker Maven plugin. Through that. Date. Fine. Well. Back last. Well. Okay. Yep. Very good. All right. We've gone through our dependabot stuff. So pull all those changes down to a local. And we can get the kind of started here. Let's start like we usually do and do a clean compile deployment and make sure everything is still where we last left off and wrap our heads around where we last left off and all of those things. Anyway, I hope everyone's been having a good week so far and good start to your weekend, hopefully. Hope you get some good plans and other things and things going well. Okay. And I gotta figure out that message. Okay, all right. Things are still working and alive. That's always good. Oh, all right. Now let's make sure. It is. Good. Good stuff. Okay. So what we want to be able to do is display and handle emotes in there. Let's do this right now. I'm gonna have to recompile anyway down here. So I've got process and save method. And I pass that on to process service here. we got the we're pulling the emotes. Well, we're identifying things that look like it. So then right. So we're identifying things that look like emote. So then we have to see this user has access to any for that particular thing, and I think that's where I'm missing a big piece here is tying the users back to what they're following, and I'm kind of thinking, there's going to be global mode that everyone has access. And each channel will be able to contribute a global emote once it is approved. That's the other thing. I have the approval step there too, which we need to take into account as far as what ones are available to be. So I don't have the UI set up for the approvals. I can just do that directly in the database right now. So what I need to wrap my brain around right now is the interconnection. So we've got user under ID, right? These users, I haven't done followers, and this kind of ties into the following bit. But I can at least test this with global. Even without the follow, unfollow stuff. But I'm also kind of wondering out loud if I think it definitely makes sense to cache the emotes that a user has access to, at least temporarily. But I think I can get away with just kind of using the KH cacheable annotation. Just kind of having an in-memory cache for a little bit with that stuff. Or even putting the full list of emotes they have access to in their session. The The only problem with putting it in the session is I gotta make sure that I refresh it. Because those things could be changing quite frequently, and you don't really want there to be much of a lag between emote changing and stuff happening. Although I guess theoretically I could make the emote changing a event, like whenever it gets approved or whenever it gets modified. Well, I guess really whenever it gets approved, because even if you modify it, you have to be approved. Right? And I don't really have a mechanism for modifying, like the image itself. I'm gonna, if you need to upload a new one, you have to delete the one that's there or deactivate it, and I think is only fair. But I'm wondering too. I do so. We know that everyone's going to have access to all the global emotes. I don't yet have a way of specifying the global. Like I just have a channel table. I don't think I need a table for the global. In fact, I think it would be dangerous to have a table for the global. Well, is that true? I guess it wouldn't be that problematic to have a table for the global emotes. I think the big difference will be there won't be any approval stuff. There won't be any active flag. Well, maybe there. That might be. Okay. And I guess I would still have. There would be no sub only or anything like that. But I guess I would still have the file names and stuff. It's just they won't be crazy file names. They'll be regular, more regular looking files. And there won't be any prefix. I mean, I was thinking having it be a table can be a little bit dangerous because anybody and their grandmother could theoretically at the table. But there's no way to upload them. You still have to have access to the box in order to put them somewhere. So there's not really a threat of showing something you shouldn't be able to show because it'll still be restricted to the images folder, like everything else. So I guess that would be the best way to do it because then you can manage the global emotes in the administration console, which we haven't done much of yet in terms of the administration dashboard. But to be able to manage them there and turn ones on or off, upload new ones, and make them instantly available. Well, not upload. There won't be an upload. Just be. you'll have to put them up there yourself. Basically, right? I think so. I think that makes you'll have to put them up there yourself. That won't provide it. So just for security purposes, it won't provide it. But you'll be able to at least see what's there and add the records in for what's there. Could be something like that. And I could even lock that down to where it's a specific folder, and I do like a directory listing of that folder, show all the files that are available to be selected. On the server. So yeah, I guess having a global emote table does make sense. Yeah. All right. That's the case. Because then I can pull. Because right now for testing, I can pull directly from there, and we get the follower stuff together, so I can actually test it out. Because I can't really test the channel emotes until we have followers and stuff. Although I guess for now I could just say you follow everybody in there. You can do that just as a baseline test. I can do that. Yeah, so let's do that just as the base. We'll just pull from every channel. We'll just assume you follow every channel in the so then I need okay. Okay. So we'll need to find final so that what happened? What happened to the emote to the ending? Like test from emote where if it's true, cloud. Why did I put I don't remember what my thought process was. Wow. Take into account both of them for now. Like, remember why I had both of the both active and allowed. Where is true and allowed, true and approval status. That's right, because there's global there too. Okay. Oh. Approval. Pass. Approved. We'll have to take into account the blue one as well. But they'll have to be marked low. But for this one, it's going to stay and global. Allow global. Yes, sub only is fall. Allow global. Fall. Sub only false and allow global. So, whoops. More readable. And public channel. No. Get all active channels. Well, eventually that'll be needed. Right now we're going without it. And actually this might still be a valid thing for like admin console. All the approved across the entire gamut thing. Turn the there. With that here. Just have any things to replace in there. Do that and then new. Do I not have enough? Oh. Channel. I don't know. Alright. Go make one. Nope. So, down mapper. Emote mapper. Here. As we do. That is her. Okay. So. Alright, now we got a grid. Oh. That, okay. Go through here, came out. Two. The William. This okay. Good. And hey, Corey, welcome. Thanks for the lurk. Large image site. Large image site. There. Large. Oh. So that updated is date. That. Yeah. Name. Ring. Oh, image volume. So all we're really doing is we're mapping the database column names to the in-memory representation in the bean. And this will allow us to then basically, when we run that select statement against the database, it'll run the results that come out of the database through this map. Each row will run through this mapper. This mapper will create an object that represents the data from each row that we pulled out of the database. And then from that point forward, we don't have to think about the database at all. We've got everything we need in memory. We've got all the data that we need, a whole list of emote and all of their properties, and then we can work with it. The only plan. And I just like to put the temporarily put the columns down here so I don't, as I'm doing things. Tag there. User ID. Screen. I believe that's the last. Cool. That. Awesome. Alright, now we have a mapper, a row mapper for that. Which means I can go here, say use channel emote mapper when running that equal, run against this mapper, and return me the result. Simple as that right now. Getting all the channel emotes across the whole thing that are active and allowed. I figure out what was the difference between it. I think active. I think my thought process there was active. Active was what was set. Active was set directly by the user. The user could turn emotes off just with a toggle. I think allowed is internal. So yeah, I think my thought process was if an emote got approved, but then later it was decided that it should not have been, that it can be, we can set an allowed flag on the admin console false, and then no one's allowed to use that. Although what you would think, though, I would then reset the tool status to reject. Oh, I know what it was. If the channel is suspended, that's why. So if a channel is suspended for a couple days, meaning they broke POS or something like that, then setting the allowed flag to false means that no one, it basically erases their channel footprint. So no one, since the channel is suspended, no one can use the emotes from that channel, so they'll be set to allowed false, even though they're still approved. It's just that when that channel then is off of its suspension, then it gets unsuspended, it goes back into the active fold, and then all those emotes allowed flag would be set back to true, and that doesn't affect the approvals. That's why I'm just trying to figure out these things. I should probably what's crazy comments, right? On the column name. Comment on column. I see, yeah, comment on column. For the comment about database object, only one comment string is stored for each object. So to modify a comment to a new comment command for the same object, remove a comment and write null in place of the text string. Comments are automatically dropped when an object. Share update exclusive lock is acquired on the object comment. For most kinds of objects, only the object's owner can set the comment. Roles don't have owners, so the rule for comment on role is that you must be super user to comment for user role. Someone's going to use using E family. And so does that if I do the prime, does this actually show comment? Yes, that. Right. Comment on channel emote on channel emote. Comment on column, wish name column. Oh, is string literal. Okay, so is. Records effect. Doesn't sound promising, but let's see. Let's do it. Something here. Column. Relation name dot. The object we comment these objects that reside in schemas. Tables function can be schema qualified. Commenting on a column, relation name must refer to a table, view, composite type, or form. Okay, that's what I did. Comment on column, my table that my column is. Okay, so then comment information. All description. So it doesn't do it during normal. Bribe then? Just ride cable with yeah, I guess that doesn't go it. Scrub. Is a bit of there's a no. That's unfortunate because it would be nice if there was a comment column here that would then let me always see it whenever we're doing stuff. Yeah, whatever. I can put a comment on it. Migration file as well, like that, because it's something. I feel like that's something I need to remember. But yeah, come back to it. We'll come back. So this is how approved. Now the trick here is if I do the search for that, I'm trying to think now, like on the server, I definitely wanted to pull out the details on a particular emote and make it so that the front end doesn't have a whole lot that it needs to do. But in so doing that, I'm going to make it slower to process. And not only am I going to make it slower, but I'm going to be running queries repeatedly. I mean, theoretically, I can cache that query, results of that query, but I mean, that's a lot. I mean, granted, every chat message is generating a query anyway. It's just generating it's being inserted to the database. So, but then this is just one more on top of it, and then I'm sure it'll be even more later. Well, I mean, yeah, there's going to be more later because we're going to have to check against blocked words and all that stuff too. I mean, when you got one channel and one chat, not the end of the world. when you got hundreds, then it starts to become a problem. It's a problem I'm foreseeing ahead of time here, and I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can mitigate it a little bit. I mean, obviously caching. Hey, Outlaw, welcome on in. I mean, obviously caching will help, but I'm not real. In order to cache it, I have to cache it by. I have to cache it by channel ID, probably. Again, I can do. I have the data. It's just. I mean, that would help. Even though, I mean, probably blow out the cache pretty often if there's thousands of chat messages going across hundreds of channels. But it would at least save, like in theory, if I'm doing it by least recently used, we're doing the LRU stuff, then in theory it will only, like the most active channels will stay in the, and the ones that aren't quite as active will fall out, but it won't be so big a deal because there'll be, you know, probably minutes between chat on the smaller one, on the less active. It's funny, Outlaw, you came in just as OC Remix decided to play some Turtles. Sounds like Turtles in Time. What is it here? I have no idea. This page is not showing me what I'm. The Rainwave page says this is Admire Civilization, but that is definitely not it. Huh. Alright, is that page not really helping too much? Alright. So to be an issue even on like small scale. Yes. Well, for right now, I'll have to pack. But I feel like I need to tackle that once I get following working. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm just trying to get the basic going. And I don't have the global stuff in place yet, but I can get that in place. I'll have it. So let's just set aside some of the performance stuff. That's going to be a problem. And at least get something working here. So if I go to build processing service, So pull the emotes out. They're in there. Then what I need to do in here is go through this list and find those. Really, actually, that's a good point because it'll be searching by the actual emote name. Right, we're going to be going by name, which changes this whole thing. Because what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to want to say where I have the brief. Let's say, I think where prefix. Tag. Export tag. Actually, is it double bars or no? Oh. And I think that just over here, just down that way. No. The one. Okay, so it is that. Or at least, what's the, I need one. Tag, that's the tag one, tag 3. And let's go and edit this guy. It's going pretty good. Going pretty good, Outlaw. Just, you know, just chilling and relaxing and trying to do some, a little bit of coding here and there and all that stuff. I'm testing out right now X264 encoding for the stream, which unfortunately, I mean, there's not much going on the stream, so we can't really, we're not really putting it through its paces. But I've been having some like occasional encoding overloads with the Intel QuickSync stuff on the new streaming PC. And I have a feeling I'm just kind of just overtaxing it. It's got 3 monitors attached to it. It's got, you know, web browsers that are asking for rendering and all kinds of other things. So meantime, the CPU was snoozing at like 0% most of the time. So I decided to switch over, try out X264, which is all CPU based. And right now, OBS is reporting the CPU usage at about 1.3 to 1.6%, and then jumps up to 2 every so often. So it's really low. I just kind of took the settings that I found out on the web that were like, these are good starting point settings. So see how it goes. It's like I said, you can't really tell right now because there's not a lot of action on the screen. But when I stream a game, I'll be able to see what kind of performance I'm getting out of it, out of the renderer, and then I'm hoping to maybe, like, I have it set for like super fast now, and I want to try to like reduce it down to like faster or fast and try to use a little bit more CPU, but maybe get a little bit more quality out of it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So just doing some experimentation there and stuff too. And hopefully that'll be, it'll be less likely to be over encumbering the encoder, and B, give me pretty good, if not really good quality. That'll be nice. So we'll see. But I got everything set in there, and we'll see how it goes. See how it goes so far. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on like the live space feed and everything. That looks pretty good. It doesn't not too blurry. I see a little bit of blurriness like here, but that might be just because I'm looking at it in a smaller window. I'm not full screening it, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, everything's good so far. Kind of in a weird, I don't know. I'm in like a weird mental thing lately, where my motivation is lax right now. My motivation is waning quite a bit. Some of it's just because I can't get any freaking answers on. Like, I had like blood work done back on Valentine's Day, and I still haven't gotten results. So I don't know what the hell they did that. I don't know if their dog ate them. What happened? But or if they just sent it to the doctor and didn't bother to update the online stuff with it, which tends to be the case sometimes too. As though I don't want to know what I'm going on. And just, I haven't heard back about sleep study either. Like, so I have no idea what's going on. My sleep has been kind of not great. I've had some of the worst sleep. I go to bed and I wake up and I feel like I didn't get any restful sleep, which is the real pain of it. If it was like insomnia or something, then that would be something that I could probably deal with. This has been just like a lack of restful sleep, a lack of viable. Right? Like I pass out like I should, but I wake up feeling like I didn't get any sleep at all. It's a weird phenomena. Sleep apnea, maybe. I took the sleep study, and I'm waiting to hear back on that. It could very well be sleep apnea. I honestly, hey, Just T, welcome. Honestly, I hope it is sleep apnea because I can we could fix that, you know? Like I can go over to like there's CVS down the road right now and buy a CPAP machine and rock that, you know? No, I haven't heard anything. It's been a couple weeks and I'm kind of annoyed. But I am seeing my doctor on Monday, so if they sent all the results to her and didn't bother to tell me, then I guess I'll find out from her. But this, I partially blame the doctor for this too, because she's very, very proud about not using computers for any of her records, which means that someone else somewhere else has to do the job that she didn't do, which is put in all my information into a form electronically and get everything set up, which means, you know, it's likely that they've misspelled something or they've transposed, you know, some numbers or something like that, and you know, and then I'm gonna go yell at somebody for that. It's like, because they never spell my last name properly. Like, I don't know how many times I have to tell people there's no E, and they'll still shove an E in there. Like, you know, I have bowling trophies that are spelled wrong. You know, because it's just like, at some point you're just like, you know what, whatever. Just keep doing it, I guess. Help assistance, yeah, right? Right, Justy? I wish it was that easy. Just do a sudo app install, man. We both have. It's pretty common. It's not so horrible when you get the right machines to help. Yeah, no, and I'm fine with that. Like, if that's the case, and I suspect it might be, because like I can't sleep with just one pillow. Like, I have two pillows that I sleep with, because I have to have my head elevated enough, or else I feel myself, right? You know. And that said, if I go and sit in a chair, I can sleep like there's no tomorrow. Like, if I'm upright, man, I can sleep like the best of them, like a champion. It's just as soon as I go horizontal, man, it's like nothing but goddamn problems. You want to go fetch gameplay footage from your Linux Mint Debian Edition bootable flash drive to prove someone wrong. to prove that you can actually capture gameplay footage on that. Hey, you know what? Sometimes what's the old meme? I can't go to bed right now. Somebody on the internet is wrong. Sometimes it'd be like that. Yeah, I get it. Like, if it were 2012, we don't do anything electronic stuff would be fine. You know, it would be still acceptable. But it's 2024 now, and it's like, all you're really doing by refusing to use computers, by refusing to use electronic medical records, is A, you're introducing errors into the process, and B, you're just kicking that can down the road to somebody else, because somebody else is going to have to do the thing that you didn't do, right? It's like, it annoys me. It annoys me to no end. I mean, maybe I'm more annoyed because I write code for a living, but it's just like, you know, there comes a point where it just makes sense. Like, I get it. It's hard to learn new stuff. There's constantly updates. You're constantly trying to stay up to date with things. And I get it. I get that there's a learning curve. I get that it sucks. But, and yes, if the system's down, you can't gain access to things, whereas if you had paper trail, you can gain access to it at any time. I get it. I understand the foibles and the faults and the problem. But damn, does it not solve one of the biggest problems, which is just, whisper down the lane. That's the biggest problem, is when you just, someone just is going really fast and they're typing things in and they type something in wrong, and it's not really their fault that they type something in wrong. It just happened, And not only that, but my doctor only does handwritten, prescription or handwritten order, right, on a official pad and stuff like that. So when I was there getting blood work done, first of all, it took, instead of just being in and out, in 5 minutes like most of the people were, and they're like 20 minutes while they type in all the stuff that the doctor's office didn't do, right? And meantime, she's there looking at the handwritten note, and of course it's a doctor's handwritten note, so good luck trying to read that thing. And she's trying to read that, and she's trying to figure out, like, okay, what are they? What's she ordering? What's the one that she's ordering? What's that one she's ordering? I'm like, just like, for crimini's sake, just learn how to use computers and just put them in the computer. Just be done with it. I know it's more of a pain for your staff. I know it means your staff has to be trained and stuff. I get it, but good Lord, it's like, it's the difference between ordering the wrong thing and ordering the right thing sometimes, It's problematic. How do their insurance companies allow them to do that? I don't know. I mean, I can tell you the company insurance that I use sucks to begin with. So it shouldn't suck, but it does. Whatever the plan that the company has, not great to begin with. Which is ironic given that in Pennsylvania we have probably some of the better healthcare plans. But this is not a Pennsylvania-based healthcare plan. It's a fake. And so it's just like, if it were a Pennsylvania, like if my company cared enough, the company that I worked for cared enough and gave us, those of us who work in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and the Delaware Valley for that matter, a Pennsylvania-based healthcare plan, it would be beautiful. We could go anywhere. We could see anybody. Everything would be electronic. Everything would be easy. But instead, we got North Carolina's equivalent of, half decent. It's like, ugh, killing me here. And they keep, every year they keep saying, oh, look, we pulled out a coup here. We made it so that you don't have to pay any additional money this year for insurance for the 3rd year in a row. Look at us. Woohoo. And I'm like, great. But now that I need to use the insurance, it sucks. How about we look at improving some of it? Like the capital of insurance. Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. It's like, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. But then again, I mean, they're not any different than a lot of the other technology companies I worked for. A lot of the technology companies I worked for gimp hardcore when it comes to health insurance, because they get complacent because most of their staff are young enough that, and healthy enough that they don't have to push the boundaries too much. Ironically, the very first company that I worked for, that was a very small company that grew to a large company. had probably the best healthcare I've ever had in technology. Like, they covered everything. Like, I literally paid, like, I think $5 for a doctor visit and like $5 for a prescription, and that was it. Like, you were like, everything was covered. And now it's all like health service plan or health HSA plans, health savings accounts, and like a freaking $2,000 deductible. So it's like, oh great, I have this insurance that isn't paying for anything until I hit $2,000. Awesome. And that's $2,000 coming out of this savings account. Oh, great. Which they are also taking money from, because they, you know, they're doing a thing that the insurance companies do, and they're skimming they're putting them into a high interest, you know, high yield interest thing, and they're skimming the interest off the top and keeping it for themselves and not passing that any of that down, you know? It's crazy. Now, I know, right? It blows your mind that was really good insurance. Like literally everything was covered, including like eye exams, dental. You know, the only thing they didn't have at the time was like pet insurance, which apparently I now have pet insurance, which I don't have a pet to test it out on, but you know, whoop-de-doo. It's probably like a $5,000 deductible on that one too, probably. Congratulations on your pet insurance. Oh my god. It's just crazy. I installed Simple Screen Recorder and Mind Test, both from the software manager. Hold on, demo. Oh, there you go. That works. Oh, no, I mean, it is what it is. It is, you know, like, I complain, but, you know, my main complaint right now is I need a doctor that will, like, actually do their job. Right? Like, as a software developer, part of my job is fixing bugs, right? In order to fix bugs, you have to do what we call a root cause analysis, which means you go down, you find out exactly what is wrong, and you fix exactly what is wrong. Otherwise, if you don't know exactly what's wrong, or you can't figure out what's actually wrong, the best you can do is just throw a Band-Aid over it, which means at some point later on, it's going to come back to bite you because you didn't really fix the real problem. You just kind of fixed something around the edge of it. You made it less common. Right? That's part of my job. If I don't do that, then I'm not doing my job. It's expected to do these root cause analysis. For some reason, we don't expect that of our medical professionals. Right? It's just like, hey, I just want to know what the F is wrong with me, right? My legs are like, I have edema that has just started randomly for no reason in my leg and my foot. Why? And they're like, well, we'll run this. Okay, that test came back clean. We'll run this other test. That test came back clean. Okay. So now what? All the tests came back clean, so there's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, no, but there is something wrong with me. You can see it. Oh, well, it'll be fine. Have a nice life. It sucks to be you, right? Like, they don't even, they get to a point, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, the answer you seek is above my pay grade, and then they stop. It's like, the hell, man. If you need me, if you think some other, you know, specialist can help me, tell me what kind of specialist to go look for, and I'll go look for that specialist. You know, like I'm willing to go and start the conversations. I just don't have the information as to where to go next. And I just keep hitting this wall where I just eventually it gets to a point where like, well, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, there clearly is. And they go, oh well. You know? I'm like, God damn it. Like, what is going on here? Or we'll see something that deeply needs fixed and not be able to do anything about it. Yeah, no, I get it. It's just, yeah. It'll be fine. Well, yeah, I mean, that was basically what I was told. Was like, oh, it's not life-threatening. I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad it's not life-threatening. But, you know, it's kind of annoying that I have to buy shoes that are a size bigger than I need because my feet are so small. Or I have to buy pants that are 2 sizes bigger than what I need because, you know, the pant legs are too tight. You know what I mean? On the normal sizes. It's just like, throw me a bone here. Like I'm willing to do the investigation. I'm willing to do the deep dive. But, every time I feel like I'm getting close to some kind of answer, I get stonewalled. Well, we don't know. They just shrug and they go, oh well, you're fine. It's quality of life, isn't that what they're there for? Yeah, you would think. And I'm totally fine with the answer is you're a fat ass and you need to lose weight. Okay. Let's do that. I'm fine with that being the answer. I'm fine with the answer being, you eat too many sweets. Okay. Eat too many sweets, whatever the case may be. At least, yeah, exactly. At least I'd have something that I can work with, right? Rather than, well, just, keep taking this water pill and, and just shovel off, just enjoy what you got. Keep taking this water pill and walk a lot. Like, all right, I'll walk a lot. I'll try, but it would be nice if I had something more to go on. That's the part that gets me. It's just like you get to a point and they just kind of give up on it. It's like the hell of a thing that you have to be like. It's almost like they're expecting me to learn to be a doctor in order to diagnose myself. And you kind of have to. And like, I'm certainly not the only one that this has happened to. I'm sure this has happened to a lot of people where they're like, they feel like they have to become their own. They have to go through medical school just to learn what's wrong with themselves because their doctors aren't helping them. You know what I mean? That's just, it feels like I'm just in that sort of pattern right now. Which, it sucks, but I'm still kicking. I'm still going. What's the name of this one? Panel approved. Oh yeah, I'm hanging in there. It gets to you after a while, because I still I haven't done all the things that I need to do. Like I have 2 more. Like I still have to get a scan of my legs again. which kind of sucks because the last time I did that, first of all, I got dredge up whatever doctor did it. I don't remember, so I have to look through my paperwork, find out, and get another appointment with them. So they'll scan my legs, and last time they did it, you know, there was no problem. They didn't find it. They're like, your blood flow is, there's no delay in the blood flow, which means blood's flowing correctly. Just water is not leaving your legs properly, you know. Even though the blood is flowing correctly. But what sucked about that was I was bruised up and down my legs for like 2 weeks afterwards. Because nobody is delicate. Like when they go and scan you, they press that scanner in there. They like it's just moving along the surface of your skin, but they like jam it right in there, get that scan in there. I had bruises up and down my legs for like 2 weeks after that one. But I gotta suck it up and do that again. And then, you know. And then there's some random like heart scan they want me to do just for kicks and giggles. So I've been procrastinating on that. Because there's not really a history of heart problems in my family, so I'm not too concerned about if there's calcium buildup around the heart or anything like that. But I have to take one of those tests too, which probably of the two that are left is probably like the easiest one. But that's $125 in the pocket right there for that. At least I know ahead of time. So there's that. You know what I mean? I guess the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Which also, that's also the other thing about the blood work too, is I haven't been sent a bill yet for that. So I'm like half wondering if they've even finished it yet or not, because they certainly haven't billed me for it. So I may end up going to the doctor and she's like, I haven't received anything. Like, oh great, thanks. There's another. How much is this doctor visit going to cost me? Oh, $120. Okay. But whatever. Oh yeah, no, it definitely does. I definitely hit a wall. Well, and here's the thing though. I was having some of these before the pandemic hit. I was having a little bit of it. It was minor, but it was there. It wasn't quite as bad as pronounced as it is now. But once the pandemic hit and no longer, we were work from home permanently, that's when all this stuff just started really becoming an issue, even more so, And you would think that it wouldn't be, but I guess it's just a lot of like what little movement I was doing, what little, just being in the car, getting in and out of the car and, driving. And then I used to park far away from the building, so I'd walk to the building. So I guess all that little stuff that I was doing when I was working in an actual office was enough to kind of stave some of this off. And now I don't have that. So that's, I think, contributing to some of it too, maybe. But that's on me, and that's also part of my part of why it feels part of my demotivation that I'm feeling lately. Because I did go for a walk yesterday because it was warm enough to deal with it. And boy, it was like every step was like going uphill, and I would just felt good for going on the walk, but I also felt struggle busing. Like I was struggle busing the whole way and trying to like motivate myself to keep going and doing it, you know? So, I don't know. I just have to get out of this crappy mind state that I'm in and just get into one where I can just kind of get the stuff rolling and get the stuff going. And you know, as the weather starts getting a little bit warmer, I'll probably start feeling better too, because I definitely don't like winter. I never really have. I like seeing the sun, you know. Even if I'm not really out, and I like seeing this. All right, I got that there. I run this. There we go. I got a. That's working. Prefix work tag. All right, wanted to see if that would work. I get the worst of winters. Yeah, actually, ironically, you know, climate change has made it so that our winters are actually a lot more mild than they used to be. Like it's like we've had a little bit of snow, but it hasn't been anything unreasonable. We do have like the occasional cold snap because, you know, Canada likes to remind us that it exists. But we've been getting a lot of mild weather. Milder than we ever really got. We had a couple winters here where we had very little, like, to no snow. It was very unusual. I mean, like, by very little, I mean like a coating to like an inch or two. Whereas, you know, when I was a kid, we were getting freaking nor'easters, constant blizzards and kinds of things. It was frigid as hell outside every day. It hasn't really been that much. So I guess, yay, global warming, maybe? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not so much. Once the ocean starts encroaching up the mountain, you know, it probably won't be so great. Thought about moving to Pittsburgh, but I think you wimped out living here in Southern California. No snow here. Well, it's true. From what I gather too, like, you have maybe like 3 seasons, right? You don't really get a winter time per se. You get like a summer, a spring, and a fall kind of thing. Which is fine. That's a bit weird to me, but it's, you know, it's interesting, fine. I just, it's you get a wet period. Yeah, this is winter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of a weird, it's a weird thing because I've only been out on the West Coast briefly, and for the brief time I was out there, it's not that I didn't like it. It's that it felt very, very alien to me, having grown up and lived on the East Coast. Because, like, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, greenery stuff. It was very deserty, very, very different. And I just kind of, I would miss, like, I've thought about maybe, like, going out to Silicon Valley and like getting closer to all the tech companies and stuff. But I feel like I would miss not only the culture here, which is a little, granted, a little bit more traditional culture, but I miss kind of like the greenery and, you know, the space and everything, you know. And also, like, the cost of living is not nearly as bad. You know, like you can buy a house for fairly reasonable price. Not, I mean, it's and not have like, not necessarily have property taxes that are unreasonable, that are terrible. Like, property taxes are pretty bad, but they're not New Jersey bad. Put it that way. Painted season is gonna be mentally healthy. We pay a very healthy sun tax here. Yeah. You know, I just, it's kind of weird. It's like, it's almost like going into another culture. Um, Going from like East Coast to West Coast. Like, I felt very much out of place. I felt like I was, I don't know, it felt like I had an attitude that didn't align with the ones I was seeing. Like, because they were, when we went out there, like it was me and the other developers for the, you know, the company that we were working for at the time. We went out to San Diego, or I'm sorry, San Jose. Sorry, San Diego, San Jose, and the tech culture there was just very alien to me. Because like one of the things they were baffled by, like we were like, so like most of the company was out in San Jose, and all the technical people, like all the devs, were in Pennsylvania. And one of the things they kept telling us was like, they kept asking us about was like, well, why you guys don't go out to the bar every, after work all the time? We're like, no, we have families and stuff to go back to. You have spouses and stuff that would like to see your face, from time to time. So no, we don't hang out after work. We might occasionally, but mostly we just, we do our work, we come in, we do our work, and we leave, and we go back to our families, and we come in the next day and do the same thing. And that like kept blowing their minds. They're like, whoa, why is that a thing? Because apparently they were like constantly going out. Like, they would come in to work at like 10:30, 11 in the morning, take a long lunch, and then like after work just go bar hopping as a group and all this stuff. And they would do that every single day, and they'd be out sometimes out till closing time, right? And they were all young. I mean, and we were definitely the older group of the crowd, but like there were some older people in there too that were married and everything. And it was wild to hear that and wild to see it, because we experienced some of that while we were there, because they were like, oh, you guys are coming out to the bar. Oh, okay. It was just I felt very out of place. It was very much a culture clash for me, going out there, Alcohol culture is just crazy on the West Coast. My town's amazing if you love to get drunk. Otherwise, good luck. Have fun staying indoors. Yeah. Yeah, welcome on in, Verna. Yeah, it's I definitely felt out of place. Definitely felt like there was just a completely different culture between the two coasts. At least technology culture, technology working culture. I don't know if that translates to other industries or not out there, but just from that technology hub thing, it felt that way, and it was just a very, it was just a very strange experience all around. Um, so I feel like every time I thought about like, would I move, you know, out to the West Coast to be closer to tech companies, I always kind of remember that, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I would fit it. Feel like I feel more at home, you know, where I guess, and to be fair, I guess we're a little bit more traditional in our culture here, even for technology. You know, there's still a couple technology companies that have, you know, dress codes and stuff. They're not many. Most of them have been, most of those have been torn down or otherwise, you know, beaten down. But there are still a few, you know, that have stuff. You know, it's just kind of it's interesting. It's interesting to see how different a couple thousand miles is, you know, between one and the other. Not plugged into the tech hub that you visited, but you can see it. It's definitely a thing. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad or good or anything. It's just different, very, very different. Um, there are some bad elements. I mean, there is definitely a tech bro culture that is more prevalent on that coast than what I on the West Coast than what I've seen on the East Coast. But we have our tech bros too. Um, they're just not as they're not as openly um proud, I guess. They're not as visible. You don't run into them until you've been in like a larger corporation for a while, and even then they're in isolated pockets usually. Um, Whereas out there, it felt like they were very much out in the open, you know. Being strong enough to stick to it is only a good thing. Yeah, I mean, there's also a healthy dose of fear there too. You know, like I have family here in Jersey. Well, I have family in Jersey, basically in Jersey. Um, and even right now, like just being over an hour away from them, kind of sucks. And the thought of then just kind of going even further away just kind of doesn't sit right with me. I there's a healthy dose of fear there, I guess. Afraid of just like being like completely like right now I'm alone, but doing that I'd be completely and that's kind of even more interestingly enough even more scary than just the first part, you know. Know it was a blessing in that there were so many remote positions now. There were some before, but definitely I agree with that. Um, you know, I don't want to see a pandemic ever again, granted, but I think it finally did the thing that we all really wanted and really needed, which was it finally showed definitively that people work better when they're comfortable. And the most comfortable you can be usually is at home. Although there are counter arguments to that, you know, especially if you have young kids and stuff, it can be still rough. But um, if you have a part of your house that you can go to and just be away from everything and just get things done, like it just your quality of life just increases exponentially. Um, and you can still, you're still within, talking distance of anyone you need. You'll have, Teams or Slack or whatever you're using. Um, Communicate with people as you need to and see them visually as you. Um, it's just you're now doing it on your terms, and the hardest part has been the part that I've run into, which is striking a balance between working and getting and doing what you need to do for yourself. Like I need to exercise, I need to get out, and I need to do things, and I'm not doing it. I haven't been doing it very well for the last couple of years, and it's starting to take its toll, and I need to fix that. There are times when I work outside the normal hour, which I have to do anyway. Even when I was in the office, I'd have to do it anyway. But now it's one of those things where it's so easy, you end up doing it just because it's so easy. Oh, I'm just going to put in 2 hours on a Sunday just to get ahead of something. You know what I mean? And it starts to add up. And the other part that starts to add up that I've noticed is, part of us all working from home is they gave us all unlimited PTO, which is a blessing, but it's also a curse in that taking less PTO now than I did when I had to take PTO, right? Because when you had the number there, it was like, okay, I have to take this or I lose it. Now it's like, I could go another week without some PTO this week. I can go another week without some PTO this week. And then, then you realize, oh, I'm 3 months in. I haven't had a day off. I should really, really do something about this. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you sort of have to you're the master of your own domain now. But you haven't been for so long that you've built up these bad habits of not being able to manage your time because you didn't have time to manage. And now you do, and now it's trying to force yourself to take breaks, force yourself to do household stuff, and then also do work stuff, and kind of do it so that you have your weekends. What I love is having my weekend. My weekends were always okay, I gotta do all the things around that I couldn't do because I wasn't around the house, right? So you gotta do all your laundry, you gotta do cleaning and all that stuff. Now I'm I could do some of that in pieces, small pieces, 10-minute, 20-minute pieces during the week, and then I got my weekend. They're free and they're clear, and I can do whatever the hell I want to do, which is great. I love that. But it's like a mindset you have to sort of conquer again, You're senior dev, so I imagine the temptation to get on, just do one or two more pull request reviews or a quick bug triage is overwhelming. It is. It's mostly because, and it's not so much. Yes, being a senior dev definitely brings that with it, but it's also being on a small team. There's only 4 devs on the team, so we have to wear a lot of different hats, right? So for instance, I might get a message from IT that's like, hey, your dev environment needs patches. We're getting alerts on our systems. I'm like, all right, I'll log into the dev environment and I'll do the patches, because that's where we're at, right? or someone's having a problem trying to commit code or whatever, and I have to go take a look and see what's going on and try to help them through it, things like that. So we're all wearing like a lot of different hats as we're doing stuff. We're doing partial designs too, or at least helping with designs and stuff like that. So it's it's a lot of different stuff. Thankfully though, none of it's not like previous jobs where I would get a call at like 2 a.m. Thankfully that has never happened. I don't predict it ever really happening here, because they've got an actual like humane release schedule where we only do 2 releases a year. So it's like everything, there's no fire that can't wait till tomorrow. It's fantastic. I have definitely not had that in some companies. Some companies it was like, quite literally I was getting called at like 2 a.m. Be like, there's a production bug, you got to fix it by 6 a.m. So though, yeah, but I mean, I was less senior in those days, so I kind of had to. Part of it was being less senior. You just kind of had to, as inelegantly as possible. You basically had to eat shit a little bit just to get your head above it, and then eventually get into a position where you maybe had a little bit more flexibility in your schedule. Our family's in Missouri, been out here apart from them for 25 years. Yeah. Work teaching theatrical costuming at universities. Door suckage. Yeah. Our team is remote. Well, and the thing about that, Corey, too, is that even when I was in the office for some companies, a lot of my team was remote because they'd be in India or something. Right? So it's like, it's not like we weren't already doing it beforehand. It's just the culture had to be broken, I guess. The mold had to be broken a little bit for them to finally like say, oh, all these things, all these tools that we're using for our teams across the globe, oh, we could use them at home too. And we could save a whole lot of money on real estate, on rents and stuff, because we don't need all this space anymore. We don't need to buy all the, refreshments for the, for the employees, or reams of paper, and we don't need all these, copiers and all that, or all this electricity and everything. Oh, hey, great, awesome, Never do what you do. Do massive patience. It's I don't know if patience is the right word. I think it's a lot of naivete. I definitely was very naive when I started, and I still have it. I definitely still have that streak in, I think it's just it's more of a learned pattern, right? It's like you kind of get used to. I mean, you think about game devs, for instance, and the amount of crap that they go through on social media and stuff. Whenever there's a bug or something preventing people from playing their game, a lot of that's due to the fact that just no one appreciates how difficult development in general is, whether it's game development, software development, whatever, right? And they really can't, because they don't have the skills to appreciate how it is. It's kind of like, in many ways, an auto mechanic, right? No one really appreciates the amount of effort an auto mechanic has to go through, because for them it's a conveyance, a car. It goes from point A to point B. How hard could it be to fix it? Blah blah blah. And they don't care as long as it's working, right? And it's the same thing with development too. People don't care as long as it's working. And they don't want to. And as my first boss was very keen on saying, "Don't tell me about the pain, show me the baby." that was his saying constantly to us, which is nobody cares that you are how much effort it's taking you to do it. They just want result. And so it's a learned thing. It's a learned experience. You learn as the years go on that, as much as you're suffering through trying to get things done, nobody gives a damn. Only other devs really give a damn how much suffering you're going through. And so you just kind of have to suck it up, which is not healthy mentally in the long run, but you kind of have these mini burnouts along the way where you just take a vacation for 2 weeks and you just kind of decompress and you try to mitigate the damage as best as you can. You'll never fully repair the damage, but you mitigate it as best as you can, and then eventually you retire and everything's great. Or so I've been told. So that's the way it is. Show me the baby. I think it was Tom Cruise. Show me the baby. Show me the money. Show me the money. That's very much. But he wasn't wrong. He was being sarcastic, but he wasn't wrong in that no one gives a damn that you've been up since 2 a.m. working on something. As long as it's fixed and they can go make their money off of what you just wrote. It was very much the same in the insurance industry and all those things. If the system's working, everybody's happy because they're all making money, right? Making tons and tons and tons of money off of what you wrote. 300-fold more than what you got from writing the code. They're making per hour. And that's just the way it is, right? It's trying to get them to appreciate that stuff is very difficult, because you have to know a little bit to appreciate it. Just like cars. You have to know a little bit about cars to appreciate how difficult it is to work on. If you know nothing about cars other than gas goes here, then you'll never appreciate the work that mechanics go through and all that, The whole work from office being mandatory is silly to me. My partner worked from home and had far better metrics, and her team was incredibly ahead. Forced back to office and now they're lagging. Yeah. Well, the work from office being mandatory is, simply put, it's all about tax breaks, I think. A lot of companies work off of tax breaks, whether it's local taxes or federal or whatever, or state, usually. And some of those things require, require that you have warm bodies in a building in that locale doing things, right? I think years ago there was a thing in Pennsylvania called the Keystone Opportunity Zone, and it was basically a way for the state to say, the state was trying to bring technology companies in. They were trying to, really get like a technology hub going, and they almost succeeded. Fort Washington was definitely a technology hub for a while, and then it's just kind of fallen by the wayside, and it's mostly empty now. But they were trying it with these Keystone Opportunity Zones, where they were like designating these zones of like these buildings and other things as places where, maybe they were in sort of dilapidated areas that were starting to come back to life or whatever. And they wanted to bring technology companies in there, and they would give them all kinds of tax breaks and, R&D. They would like, give them money to do research and development, all that stuff. And I remember for a couple of companies, we had to like specify, like when we were doing some features, we had to pretend that we were doing research and development, R&D, even though it wasn't really, because they wanted to get their hours in so they could build the state and get, whatever money from the state they could get for it. And a lot of that was because they also wanted to spur, the idea was you bring these workers in to these buildings, and then the whole neighborhood benefits because now those workers have to go out to lunch and everything else. So all the businesses around them start to crop up, and they start to get this infusion of economic benefits. The whole like trickle down bullshit stuff. And to an extent that was true. But never to the extent that they ever predicted. You know what I mean? It was never as successful as as was ever predicted. So I suspect that a lot of that is wound up in some of that forced return to work stuff. Some of it is just pure distrust. How can you be how can you be a king if you never see your peasants, kind of thing. So part of it is that, part of it's just like, a status symbol thing. Part of it is distrust. They don't trust that their workers are doing what they are told to do, or working as efficiently as they are supposed to be, even though the numbers say otherwise. And some of it's just like they need to justify to their investors the money that's being sent out. Like they can't get out of there. A lot of landlords were not letting businesses get out of their leases. And so the business is stuck paying this lease that they're not using. And so they have to justify that to their board members. Like, well, we can't get out of this lease and everything. So in order to justify it, they would just force everybody back to work because, it was easier than saying like, oh yeah, no, we're just pissing all this money away. But yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole, there's a lot of factors at play. And my concern is that the pushback on return to office is not as strong today as it was a year ago. So my fear is that eventually we're probably all going to get a return to office order at some point. And by the time it comes down, it's going to be like, there's not going to be hardly any opposition to it, or any opposition that is to it would be so weak that it wouldn't succeed. And that's going to kind of suck because I really do enjoy the quality of life this kind of given me, like the enabling me to kind of work at my own pace and not feel guilty for, like, you'd be in the office and sometimes you just can't think. Sometimes you just need a break. You just can't. Your mind just isn't working. And so you go on like Ars Technica and start reading news or something like that. Right? And you always felt guilty because like if someone walks in to your cube while you're surfing the internet, like, oh, you're slacking off. Okay? No, I just needed a break. No. But it's hard to justify that when you're there. But when you're at home, it's like, oh, okay. Hey, I need a break. I can get up and walk. Get up and, throw a load of laundry in. And, I can do whatever. Kind of do some exercise. Something that's more productive than just kind of like, pretending they'll be on target. But who knows? All right, this and would be even better here is if I did this as a list. All right, Outlaw. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a good rest. Hope everything goes well. Do that, and I need to use the named parameter. Yeah. Let's say it's in. All right, Corey. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Good night. Fix tag is in. Names. What I want to do is Um, no, I think it's I have to do wait, no. The map though. I'm trying to remember themed parameter template query. Yeah, it's just a map. Yeah. That's what I thought. So and then here we do brands, but names. List of ring. Yeah. Friends, and then new emote mapper. Right, so then that'll get me, and that way I can just pass in all the emote I find, the emote names of. I actually really do it as a, so it gets rid of any duplicate. Don't grab duplicate names in there. Okay, doing that, if I get back to that processing server. Another emote list. So I can do private no, emote no. Wire that up and then list there, and then do do that. Yes. Listed. Bills. Emote list. That. Do. Intermediate duration. No. I don't know if that works that way. Let me look this up. How the land or I don't care that it's an unsorted set. I guess I could just do no hash. It's true. It would be faster. Oh, see, I could just do a list stream collectors boost. Or Java 10 set copy of. Huh. If I can do that even. Set copy of. Yeah, because that'll I don't care what order it's. Like, I don't need to preserve for what we're trying to do. So, come on, come on. Can you delete? No? Yes, no? Not gonna let me delete things. Okay. Next. Emote list. So that of oh. There's an unmodifiable set of the given collection. Yep. Given collection must not be null and must not contain any null element. Every element of duplicates preserved. The given collection is supposed to be modified. That works. That works. So that would give us panel emote. Right. Okay. Once I have that, what I care about at that point is matching up the have I lost. I'm wondering if I want to, I think I want to blow that out a little bit and yeah, I think I want this to be up. I want to put properties on those emotes that are there. Yeah, because I think I want a message that's already parsed, but I also want a message that the raw message too. Yeah, I think, all right, here's what we're going to Put Charlton over there. I mean, why not, right? No, I think I want it. I think I should pull it down. Yeah, so let's do... do message emote. There you go. And then what I'll do is grab over here. Only the properties that we care about. And I think need ID or the user ID. Maybe it goes in there. Active allowed. We'll just status. Name, I don't need. That's do that. Leave that here. Alright, then here. String must be HTML. There we go. Cool. And then do pull this out of here. And we'll say actually make it right up here. So we can do that string and factors to set. Set. Which means in you set here. Right. Which good. Have to create an object for each of the, like, translate it over to that row. So private out. Nope. Object and active. Where's here? Oh, is it? That's why. Duh. Okay. Emote. Right, because it's Boolean. Do a lot of shuffling things around here. Um, only... Hey, oh. Hey. E. All right, so through and message. Get details. Set emote list to emote stream. At object. Select selectors that to if I will set that work. Oh, I have it as a list. Oh, that's. I can just do. Do this. All right. Okay, so given just that change, I should be able to see that written out. Do a clean build, and we'll just test that it goes out to the data, right? Before we try anything on the front end. Where we? Oh, right here. Cool. All right. So what's the test tag 3 is what I'll use. I'm gonna have to put up here. All right, so given that, we'll look at that messages. Details. Here. Oh, I know. I know. I need to strip off the delimiter. Like this. How I do this filter. Filter and then map. Just be test that. What? It's gonna have to be train kills. Train kills. Steady stream, water stream. No. Stop. Move the last character from the script, right? And then characters from the Who's start? Moves a chart only if it's at the beginning of a source string. Move.
When you love someone,
Oh, I can just do remove.
You've got to give them the key to
on
everything
that.
that's yours. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Place first. No. Here we go. Strip and strips out any of a set of characters from the end of his string. Strip start. Strip start, strip end. Stars string is null. My space is stripped as defined by character is. Or Oh. Um. Well, I guess I could. Yeah. Okay. What's that? Okay. Yes. Start. Hmm. But the other one has to go Google basic functions of some object. Yeah, I know. It's there's no. The thing is, a lot of these things change so often over the years that it's like there's no point in trying to commit it to memory either. It's like keep looking them up. Login token. So, I can do substring. Substring between. Oh, that's the thing. Can you tell substring between? I didn't even see that in the thing. 'Cause that would be great. That's the thing. String fills that sub. Substring between. The string that is nested in between two instances of the same string. God damn it, that's still awesome. It's like if I hadn't Googled that, I'd be doing this so stupidly here. So it's just substring between and get rid of the whole other map here. Needed. Sometimes it's just good to just. Sometimes it's good to just Google something anyway, even if you think you know the answer. Because then you come up with something even better, and it's like the thing you were looking for. You know what I mean? Hey, Break Game. Welcome. So, okay. We got that. So then... I do working directory, clean that. And oh, so maybe we'll have some actual emote hit here. Cool. All right, let's get that parsed. Aha! Hey, we're already better. I do this here, paste that in there. All right, we have an actual emote list now. Tagged, tag 3, active true, prefixes test. Allowed, created, sub only, and then we have URLs and file names. Awesome. So then I can keep those separate as part of the chat message. Ultimately, I'm going to have a completely parsed chat message that goes down and then just have the chat be pretty basic. But it's good to have this stuff because if people are connecting to the chat via the API, they can get all this additional information that they can then use to like cache things ahead of time and whatnot. Be good. Spend 2 hours playing with IntelliSense or look up the docs. Guess which one I'm guilty of. Yeah, exactly. Right. And honestly, I've never had that much success with IntelliSense. Which is one of the reasons why I stick to Eclipse a lot, because for some reason Eclipse manages more often than not to find all the methods that I could possibly look for, whereas IntelliSense I've always found, at least with Java and everything, that it kind of doesn't always show you all the different methods that you have access to. And I don't know if that's just some kind of quirk that you have to change in the settings or what it is. But I've had problems with that in the past where it was like hiding things on me. Which sucks when you're just trying to look through something to get an idea of like what you have access to or what you can possibly call, you know? So that's good. So we have the ID now. We have the raw message. What I'd like to do is part of the details is have the actual parsed HTML method. I'll have to HTML papers. But that shouldn't be a problem. In the back end, anyway. The real thing is, like, there's going to be a I feel like there's going to be one method that like combines everything together and makes it work based on everything that came through here. That is the question. Where do I, like, I want to, have a tokenized string in there, like tokenize it out. I want to put the list of tokens out. But I also want to sort of mark them appropriately. Like I have the whole, I have every token that was entered in the message, which is basically every word, because it's tokenizing it on the word boundaries. So in the future, there's going to be like, you know, blocked words and other things like that. What I'd like to do is have that tokenizer basically pass over it. So even before we do the parse emote, I kind of want to have the tokenizer so we have the tokenized message that we passed. The intention is to keep passing that to each method that needs it. But what's going to happen is at the end, when I want to make the actual real string, the string that has all the HTML and stuff in it, for like emotes and stuff like that, I'd end up having to go back over all the tokens again and looking for and doing more of the emote parsing and stuff, because I'd have to like match it up. So what I'm thinking of here is in the chat message details have tokenized, have the tokenized message there, the tokenized list there, but it would be the token plus the type. If it's just regular chat, it would be just normal. Type would be just normal. But if it was an emote, it would be marked as an emote. How would I do that? Have it be Yes, I would know where I'm at in the list. Or maybe I just have like a I mean, it's possible I just have like an identify method that just goes through and identifies all the things in the message. Do that as a first pass, and then that would actually be probably a good idea. Because if the message doesn't have like any emotes or stuff in it, then I can skip over the parse emote altogether. Because I won't have any to deal with. The thing is, no, that would probably work. Yeah, and then when I go and put the message back together again, I'll know what needs to go. I'll know where to look to go put the stuff in there. Yeah. that would allow me to sort of skip over things that I know I don't have, like, because we're eventually gonna have like animated GIFs stuff, like tenor stuff, even Giphy maybe, things like that, which will all be identified in there. Also have commands, potentially, things like that. And if I don't need to process, if I do like an initial inspection of the message and find that I don't need to process anything. And then the other thing is too, if the message coming from like that initial inspection can include like, is this person timed out? Are they banned from this chat kind of thing? And then that would just, it would skip the processing of their message. It would still put their message into database for audit purposes, but it wouldn't go through all the processing of the message because it would just be, it's just been thrown on the floor, and it's, visibility is set to hidden. That would allow me to kind of like skip out on some of the heavier processing like right away, theoretically. I mean, there's still going to be some processing where I have to do, like against the bad words list and stuff like that, which you can't really get around because there's no token there to look at. But, okay. I've got ideas. I've got ideas of how to make this maybe a little less crazy. It's going to be a little bit crazy regardless of what I do, because there's a lot that you have to do to process this message. Because there could be a lot of things in there. But we've made progress. We've gotten a little bit further along. I'm going to actually stop here right now. It's almost 1 a.m. for me, and I just kind of want to relax for a little bit and then see if I can pass out and actually get some actual sleep tonight. That would be really, really swell. So, what I will do is, we'll stop here right now. I'm not going to commit anything. We'll just keep this where it's at. I'm going to, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully around 2 p.m. my time. We'll see. Maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see how it goes. But I'd like to get we'll jump back in. We'll continue with what we've got here, hopefully. This is assuming I'm feeling up to it. I know last Saturday I wasn't really feeling up to it, but I think I'll be feeling up to it all right tomorrow, I think. And we'll do that. And then Saturday night we'll be doing our usual Rocket Stone Saturday night with Shin and Overlord and Greywalker. And we'll see, probably be in Power World again, I guess, most likely. So doing that, and then Sunday afternoon, I'll be doing some games, but I'll be doing them just on Live Space, just streaming over on Live Space. That'll be an additional test, I guess, to see if I've got more of my X264 settings set properly and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight for me, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it, and hanging out and keeping me company and all of those things. I appreciate it greatly. Let's see if we can find someone on, oh, you know what? I just realized I have Twitter and Blue Sky open, and I never actually tweeted out anything about the stream. I completely forgot. Oh well. it doesn't matter. It's over now. Let's see who is live on Live Space that I can maybe send you guys over. Hopefully. What do we got going on? Else in business technology right now? Nope. The underscore's not on. How about? Nope, nobody's live there. Alright. Gaming it is. What do we got here? One second. Looking through everything. Yeah, you know what? I will send you guys over to Clamia, who is playing some Vanisher right now. It's an interesting game. I might want to try out myself at some point. So I will put that link. Ooh, that is not the link for that. Ooh, that did not copy. That did not copy at all. Let's try that again. Hey, Barrier. Let's reload you so we get a good clipboard here. Cool. All right. Now let's go, and I nearly pasted code JSON into the live space chat. That would have been interesting to see what happened there. But yeah, there's a link to go check out Mia over on Livespace. I put that in the Livespace chat and on the YouTube chat. I don't necessarily put it in Twitch because Twitch doesn't like it a lot when you promote other platforms for some reason. Don't know why. Anyway, you go check him out. He's playing Bashers and all those things. But like I said, that will do it for me for tonight, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, goodbye.
I suppose by the transitive property, I too must be Vulcan as a motherfucker.